Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, dish out on the movies. Today, we are reviewing the third movie in our...
Oh, full moon.
Of our 10 movie lineup of full moon movies. These are all, I don't think there's any modern ones, meaning today, this year. They're all before this year. And I don't mean like, well, there's one pretty recent, but it could be as early as 1993 or who knows, because I don't know all the dates.
The 80s.
The 80s. I don't know all the dates of the movies, but this movie today was made in 2023, so it's fairly recent. And it is called Blood Rise Subspecies V. And we have seen all of the other subspecies movies. And you're thinking, well, if you don't know anything about the subspecies array of movies, they're about vampires. So specifically about this one famous vampire. What is it, Vladislaus or Vladu?
No, it's Radu.
Radu. And
Safi's having a bit of a combunction.
Is
that what you call it? But
okay.
I would like to say first.
Okay.
We started off reviewing the subspecies movies in 2021.
Okay.
So this was a part of our first ever full moon week, was reviewing the first subspecies. So this is the conclusion of our subspecies reviews unless they make another one. And it's funny because when we reviewed the first one, we were doing it in Safi's car at nighttime. And it was like, okay, let's get this over with. And so it's pretty funny. But, like, I think that Safi, her opinion's going to be interesting compared to mine because she doesn't really remember the other movies.
I just remember little pieces of them here and there.
Yeah, I kind of remember them. I kind of remember them a little bit more, but still, it's like, I don't know, like, this is such a weird series because the movies are connected, but they don't really feel connected very much. They feel very much like...
standalones.
Pick one. You know, like, you could spin a wheel and pick one, and you're going to get kind of the same experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the main guy, they actually have the original guy, right? From the very first movie?
Yeah.
So that they do have a few consistencies in terms of actors playing the parts throughout the series from the beginning until this year or so, or this year, but this particular movie. So,
well, of course, in the second,
that's a good thing.
In the second one, they recast the girl. Originally it was a really boring woman who I think we called a plank of wood, literally and physically, because she was just like a plank. You know, she was just very, very flat in her acting and stuff. And so her character, you know, she got recast, and it's been the same actress since the second one. Thankfully, because as I said before, it's a big issue when you have multiple movies and it's not the same actors, because it's like, what's the point? You know?
Yeah, because I think people, you could comment about this, give your opinion, but people like to see, if they're interested in certain movies, they like the same ones to come back, because maybe that's what they like about it. That's one of the drawing cards. In the series, that Dark Winds series about the Native Americans who live in the Southwest, the Navajos, or some of they're not all Navajo, but anyway, they've had basically the same actors the basic story actors. They've had the same actors in all the seasons. Everybody loves them. They all think they're great. So, that's why maybe they were initially, basically returned to see the next series. And they like Tony Hillerman, the author of the books that are what the series is about. They like him too. But anyway, so that's a good thing. And they did replace that one actress. And the one they replaced, I mean, she's really good. And so she stuck around.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing. I mean, there are good things about it.
This movie.
About this movie.
Yeah.
But it's, well.
But why don't we start off by just saying, like, this was a well-made movie, actually. It was a well-made, modern full moon movie. And they put a lot of effort into it, and it did kind of feel like the older movies. I would say one of my only issues in terms of how it was made was I did not like the drone shots, and I don't like drone shots. I feel like they look cheap. They look fast. You know, like, a lot of people, they think drone shots are like a mark of quality.
Well, they're a good thing, but maybe not for movies.
No, but I think helicopter shots are better because they're a lot slower. Because, you know, the helicopter has to be slower. I think that drone shots are way too fast, and it looks cheap. It looks bad. And then I also didn't like a lot of the digital effects that they had. You know, like when the vampires would, like, disappear into, like, a shadow or something. You know, I really didn't like those. I thought that
was hard to see.
They looked cheap. It made the movie look like a CW type of show or something, and, like, I didn't like that. But other than that, I was surprised how well they did it, like, recapturing the feel and look of an old Subspecies movie. They even had a lot of boobs in the movie. There was like a pair of boobs every like 10 minutes to the point of where you could do a separate ranking video. Just because, I mean, that's how many there is in the movie, is what I'm saying. But, like,
no comment.
That felt a lot more like the older movies. And, you know, a lot of modern movies, even modern full moon movies, you know, they won't have any nudity at all. You know, because Gen Z thinks that sexual stuff is uncomfortable. You know, that's what the Gen Z would say. So they can't handle it. But, like,
everybody, Marco is a Gen Z.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
I'm a vampire!
He's a Gen Z, but he may not have the thoughts of who he's talking about.
I identify as a Skittle. Like the Skittles candy. I am a Skittle.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I am the grape Skittle.
He can't avoid that he's a Gen Z.
Bite me. I am a Skittle. Bite me.
Look, you can't run away from it once you're in there. So.
No, I don't have to run away because I'm not a Gen Z.
Who's younger than Gen Z?
What
do they call?
I don't know. Gen retard. I don't know. That's what I'll call them.
Oh, don't
but
do
like,
that.
anyways, back to we were talking. First, we talked about boobs, and then we talked about the Skittles.
Okay, well.
So now we got to go back to Subspecies.
The movies.
Yeah.
The movie is a precursor, actually.
The prequel.
A prequel to the main one, which was, I guess, the one in the beginning, right? Yeah, the first one.
That's what a prequel is, Safi.
I know, but it's just weird how we're on Subspecies 5.
Oh.
But 5 is really like A, and then 1 is the first movie.
Yeah,
so A is a prequel.
There are people who said that they thought this was
1A.
a sequel, Safi. They thought this was a sequel.
Oh.
And they watched it, and they were very disappointed that it was a prequel. So
I bet they were.
That's sad too, because I knew it was a prequel when I heard about it, and I guess why they called it Blood Rise. You know,
I don't know the blood. I don't get the blood rise.
Because he rises.
I don't like neither Marco nor I really like the title.
No.
And that's just the way it is. There are certain books. When I was a newspaper writer, there are just certain titles of your articles. You don't get any control over choosing the title. And some of them that they pick are stupid.
Safi, that's not what it's like for movies.
I know that, but I still think it's not a title we like. And I didn't like...
No.
We just did this review of the second full moon movie we just did yesterday called Prehysteria. I didn't like that title either.
No.
So I will say it because I had that when I was writing for the paper. I had like some articles, and the one title was abominable. It was stupid, and I'm like, who did this? And the editor did it. I just really like that.
So, Safi, did you write for the first ever newspaper in oral history?
Oh, Marco, don't be a dip. So anyway, I like doing it, but now I don't know if there's any newspaper. I guess there is, but it's really all about online, so we don't need to talk about that. But anyway, the title, we're back to the title anyway. Neither one of us likes it, and I don't know what Marco actually. It's kind of hard to judge the movie because, like he said, it was pretty well made. And then they had the consistency of the original actors, and then, of course, the female actor came in with the second movie. So she's not from the first. I mean, you're going from second to 5, so that's a lot. And so.
Well, let me begin because
I just don't know what to say about
Safi's confused. You know, she gets confused a lot now.
No, I don't.
You know,
he's full of BS.
But I just, it was a really weird movie experience to me. Like it started off, and I was like, oh, this is kind of refreshing because, you know, Radu, his character, he was never really very well fleshed out. Even though the actor did a great job, he was always just like the bad guy, and he was really bad. And so this was kind of interesting to like kind of see like who is he as a person, what's his story. But the movie is very rushed, and it's very, very rushed. It feels like it should have been like 40 minutes longer, not in terms of like it would have been more enjoyable, but in terms of the story. It was not well fleshed out. It was very fast forward. It's kind of like those people who watch like a YouTube video and they're like, okay, I'm gonna have to put this video on fast forward, you know, like those types of people. I'm not gonna listen to a podcast like at normal speed. I'm gonna put it at speed 2.5. That's what it was like. It also kind of reminded me of, like, book adaptations. Like, you know, those movies that are based on books where, you know, the classic thing is that the books are better than the adaptations and that there's parts where they speed through it. And there were moments in this movie where they kind of sped through things and then there was, like, narration. And it's like, oh, here's the chapter that we had to speed through because we don't have time. And I don't know, it was kind of a mess. As I said, it started off refreshing, but it got to a point where I was like, this is really, really kind of weird. And it just didn't really... There wasn't any one consistent story, and all the different stories that they have were really mediocre and predictable. Like, there was even like a random part in the movie where there's like a demigod and she comes into his lair and he narrates and he says, this one day there was a woman and she defiled my lair. And she came in and then she's like, I am the daughter of the goddess of the Calypso. And then he kills her like immediately.
Yeah, I'm like, well, if she's this special person, that's all she's got. And
then she's his fledgling. And take a shot every time he says fledgling throughout the movie. It's like every other minute he's like, Safi, you're my fledgling.
Yeah, he has this distinctive voice that he makes.
Yeah.
And he has a distinctive look. And he really does look like an evil vampire.
Well, the funniest
he didn't start off that way.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say, the funniest part of that, before you continue, is that...
That's okay.
Before he's a vampire, you know, it's like a part of his origin is like, okay, how did he become Radu? Well, his voice was always like that. You know, like when he's a human, he is also like, "Hello,
Well,
my name is
nobody can understand you.
That's what he sounded like.
No, he didn't have. It gets rougher and gruffer.
No,
I
it
think
doesn't.
as he goes on,
A little bit.
Well, he makes it worse because he has to make a differentiation, and he's had enough experience doing the part to do it. It's not that big of a differentiation, but it is different. He's actually one of these. I don't even know. He's like a crusader.
Yeah.
And he's going after. Well, God. They were terrible. Crusaders were horrible. But anyway, he's going after vampires. Okay, for this movie's purposes, he's going after vampires, not really understanding his background. And then he has a monk who is, of course, wearing the cross and having the clothes on.
And the monk sucks.
And
He's a terrible actor.
Marco doesn't like the monk.
He was the worst actor in the movie.
I thought he was okay. He was just supposed to be his, I don't know what you want to call his lackey.
All he did was do the cross on his chest the whole time he was on screen. Like, that's all he did.
Yeah.
It's
so
like,
who knows? I wonder if he's really Catholic.
Is that really what monks did when monks were alive? Like,
no, I think they're no.
That's a part of
the Crusades is a different story. That's like fascist only.
No, but I'm talking. No. I'm talking about. Did monks really just like walk around like crossing their chest every minute of their lives?
They were in their monastery. They were
What was he
running
doing?
around. This is the Crusades, though. You can't.
But the monk was running around. So what was he doing?
Different. I don't know all the
monks
history
did
of
that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Did monks do that?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
The Crusades, I don't know. I'd have to read about it.
Your hand will get tired from doing that.
I don't no. Seriously.
Oh, really? Do it right now. Do it the rest of the whole review.
No.
20 to 30 more minutes. Do it right now.
No.
Keep doing it. Here, I'm doing it right now. Here, I'm doing it right now. Your hand is going to get really tired.
Himself.
Look at this. No vampire can get me. Bitch.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. There's no movie I've ever seen about a vampire where if you cross yourself, that keeps the vampire away.
See,
that doesn't do anything.
This is like a dance. This is like, when I was younger, Safi got me this workout tape called Hip Hop Abs. And the guy's like, oh, you got to make the pizza because you got to move your arms like you're making a pizza. And then you got to move your arms like you're washing windows. And like all these weird dance moves.
Okay. Anyway, let's just keep moving.
Well, no, I wanted to say it's really awkward because, and I'm not trying to shame the actor playing Radu because he did a great job. He is still just as good as he was back then, but It's really awkward because he's an older man. And, that's just a fact.
He's a baby boomer. He's
an older man, and, his story is like the story for like a 25-year-old. Like his story, like, oh, well, I'm a orphan who doesn't know where he came from and I'm fighting with these crusaders. Like his story is not for like an older guy. And so it's this kind of awkward thing where like it's like a weird.
Well, he does the best he can.
He did the best he could, but it's just really weird. Okay.
It is different. You don't have people going on starting at that age. Usually in any typical movie, any typical story, book, anything, it's somebody who's younger, and then they go through all these changes and move on. And
changes.
even in the other vampire movies, they're all young. And they start, and then they go through time. And in this movie, he's a baby boomer. I don't know how old he is. I haven't looked it up, but he could be 60, could be between 60 and 70, and so it's awful late to be starting off this. But I guess if you want to live eternally, you're a vampire, and he's going to be living eternally now. He doesn't have to worry about dying of old age. He's just going to be a vampire, live forever. So that is different. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, but that's true. But I thought of the movie as, and I told Marco, he probably didn't want me to repeat it, but I felt like it was a baseball game. And so everything, all the scenes, like they would clump a story. They would have clumps of events that happened. It was like hitting a baseball, and you leave a home plate and you go to first base, and then you might steal and get between first and second, and then have to go to first or something. So it was just, so the times in between the bases were like nothing really happened. It was boring. And so every time you went on a base, a whole bunch of stuff happened. And then at the end, it's almost kind of like he walked home, like in a baseball game, he just walked home, and it kind of fizzled, and Marco, and we were... It really fizzled out.
And
we were talking about, well, are they going to make another one at this point? Is this the end of the series? Because this is a prequel to the first one, so how do you do that? What do you do? And he's older. No matter, even though he's a vampire, he's going to live forever. He's not going to live forever as a human being.
We could have a story where
and the actor.
It's 90 minutes, and the whole time it's just him telling someone that they're his fledgling. I think that everyone wants to see that after this movie.
Yeah. So
also,
I don't know what else to say about it.
You get to find out what does it mean to be a fledgling? What does that entail? Is there some kind of interesting adventures that they go on and
I don't
shit?
think so. I think they're just servants to the master.
Like in the Buffy series, did they go on Buffy the Vampire Slayer adventures? No. If you're a fledgling, all you do is just sit around and drink blood all day. That's all you do.
And yeah, that's why I said boring.
Yeah.
Those parts were boring. They're in between.
And it felt like a book adaptation where it's like, okay, we got to get to this point, to that point, and we got to hit all these marks that, aren't really very great. And there's even a part where, they have the fledgling characters. They were trash, as humans.
Well, I wouldn't call the musician brother and sister trash.
They were trash characters, and then they became trash vampires, too.
No, I don't agree.
Well,
they made really beautiful music. Maybe they weren't really playing. That's
probably
probably it. They had a very interesting... The girl played... She played a flute, but it went straight out, and you blew on it. You didn't play it like a regular flute. This was an instrument that stuck out straight from her mouth, and then she blew into it, and it was double pipes at the same size. And they were little tiny. They were like, how long would you say, a foot? The pipes were like a foot long, and they were metal. And they might have been a little bit more than a foot. And then he played a little harpsichord, and it was almost like a little, but I think they can be like that, a little tiny piano, like a baby, like for a kid. Like for Peanuts, is that Linus who plays the piano? And he had this little toy piano, and he plays all these magnificent classical musical tunes on these pianos. That's what it was like, but it was a harpsichord. And so the brother played that. It was Ash and Adeline, or Adeline.
The sister looked like a Keira Knightley, kind of.
Yeah. They were a very pretty couple.
Safi, they were brother and sister.
I know, they were pretty actors.
Oh, no!
You have Radu, and he's ugly.
Here, Safi, have a Skittle.
No, I don't want any Skittle. Okay,
Orange.
I'll put it down.
Orange, have a Skittle.
So anyway, but they made this beautiful music, and Radu wanted them because he wanted them to be with him, because he wanted them to play music forever. But what happened was when he turned them into vampires, she said, I don't feel joy anymore. And that we had joy behind our playing. And then the brother said, I can't do this either. I don't have my muse. And so all she would do is when she blew into the flute, she'd just blow really hard and make this screechy noise, and that hurt the vampire's ears. And then later on, when we got to this part where, what's her name? Helena, the vampire queen, she's now a vampire queen, has her own kingdom. When she comes, and she wants the brother to play this beautiful music, and he gets on, she has a gigantic harpsichord, a life-sized one. And he plays, and he just slams his hands on the keys and makes this horrible noise and hurts her ears. So it didn't work the way either one of them, the Radu, right? Radu and Helena, the way they wanted it to. So that was too bad.
I will also say that a big issue for me with all of the movies except the first one is that the movies are called Subspecies, and yet we never see the subspecies in this movie. If you guys remember, the subspecies are these little red demons that are like a part of Radu, and they do things for him, and they are not in this movie. They're not in the second one, third one, fourth one, Vampire Journals, and so it's just really weird, like,
that they called it that and don't have them.
Yeah. And this would have been the perfect opportunity to see those guys because it's a prequel. So maybe, like, he used them a lot. I mean, what's their story? Like, it's so interesting and so cool. But no, can't do that. And then I would also say, I don't know how well it fits in with the first movie. You know, they have a young Stefan in the movie, you know, his brother, his supposed, like...
And he's a kid, and he's really
brother.
good looking. He has long hair, and it looks like a, what would you call it, a page boy hairdo, you know, of, like, Prince Valiant, or, you know, like, of whatever, what would be that, the medieval times?
What?
I don't know, that hairdo of men.
A bowl cut?
Absolutely not. Did you see anybody with a bowl cut?
I had a bowl cut.
Even the monk didn't even have that. And
well, but anyways, what I was trying to say is that there was this big thing with the dad, I guess, like with Radu fighting his dad, his vampire dad, but like in the first movie he looks completely different, and I really didn't like how like all that stuff was handled. It felt very confusing and just very muddled, and it didn't really connect well with the first movie. I think it was also kind of a shame, because if they do another movie, they could still do this. I think it would have been really cool if they had the whole movie lead up to the first movie, like the opening scene. Like, they could do like a glue type of thing, like a connector scene, where that would be the ending, because that would be cool. You know, that would be something cool they could do. But, like, as it stands, I don't think this really feels like a worthy prequel. I think it feels like kind of like a spin-off, like, CW type of movie. But it's still pretty good. I mean, it's just okay.
It's just hard to say.
It's really weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
I feel like to have these actors come back like this, and that guy is elderly, and he's not really that elderly.
God, stop it.
I mean, he's older. Well, at least they had him come back before he dies off, like some of these other shows.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks, where the guy just let everybody die, and then he dies, and now what?
David Lynch said, Twin Peaks fans, if you want more Twin Peaks, he said this in 2018 to 2019, I think. He said, Twin Peaks fans, you gotta be patient. If you want Twin Peaks, if you want more Twin Peaks, you're gonna have to be patient. I don't understand what he meant by that, because there still hasn't been any vindication for that at all.
No. And, you know, his place was on fire. I don't know if they were able to save any of his. He's dead, but I don't know if they were able to save any of his stuff.
No, they did. They auctioned it all off.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So rich people could get his stuff.
Just the fire was horrible. There was an article in the paper about.
He would have died anyway. He had emphysema.
Yeah, he was very ill, and he was. They talked about how ill he was and that he could pass away.
But it was just like, you know, like, okay, we're patient. You know, where's Twin Peaks? You know, but at least Subspecies you got to see Radu again.
Yeah, and that was nice. I appreciate that actually.
Yeah.
That's why I hate to. I just hate to say negative things, but I mean, you can't pretend that the things that you didn't like, that you liked them. You just can't do that. Even if, but I do want to say what I did appreciate. I did appreciate him coming back. I did appreciate they tried to make the movie. It's not, I mean, it doesn't look cheap, and it doesn't look like some of the things that they have on. We talked about this yesterday for full moon movies. It just, some of the stuff is so cheap and poor and crappy, and it's just so junky, and the characters can't act, and this is a lot better than that. So I want to make sure it gets its props for the things that it should get props for.
The big issue is the script. I think that's the big issue for me.
Yeah, that was a very basic script. That was probably another reason why it was boring. You didn't have enough drama. It was too, basic. Like Marco was talking about that woman who came back and said, I'm the daughter of the goddess so-and-so, and so what? I mean, it just didn't, it wasn't effective.
And then he makes her his fledgling, and
in 2 seconds.
And she comes back at the very end of the movie out of nowhere, and she kills the other female fledgling.
She kills the flutist. And the brother actually... Now, this is why I thought they might have another movie. Because the brother, the harpsichord guy, he takes the bloodstone and leaves. And runs away, and they don't ever show him again.
Yeah.
But then they kill the daughter of the goddess kills the flute player, his sister, and that's it. And just leaves Radu. Radu's there all by himself, right? All by himself. He has no bloodstone. It's just him, and everybody's gone.
He has no fledgling.
No fledgling. No nothing.
What's he gonna do?
I don't know. So that's what, to me, that kind of sounds like another one's gonna come down the pipes. I don't know.
Subspecies, blood quarantine.
That's enough.
Subspecies, blood run.
I think we should
because
give
he's got to go on a blood run to get the bloodstone. Subspecies, blood party.
Well, you gotta wonder about the brother. Is he going to come back looking for his sister, you know? And, you know, basically, I mean, they had them going all over the place, although they don't show that. They showed them in the castle, but then they were out because they had escaped. The brother and the sister had escaped. They had taken the bloodstone with them and went to this kingdom, and they found this vampire queen, which was Helena, and gave her the bloodstone. And then, anyway, to me, it ended in a way that they would bring him back. But I don't know how it would work. I have no idea. Maybe Marco could get a better handle on it.
Subspecies 6.
Not me.
Blood
I don't care
trip.
enough about it.
Subspecies 7. Blood time.
Okay, why don't we just go ahead and give our food review? So
Subspecies 8. Blood school.
So anyway, what we do, I just want to remind people, is every time we review a movie, we give it a food review. So all of the movies we've done so far, we've given it some kind of food review. So if it's good, it's going to be a good. Like yesterday, I gave Prehysteria a scoop of pumpkin custard it's custard ice cream that we got at a place called Ritter's that's in this area. And Marco actually had a waffle cone with 2 scoops of it.
It turned out to be a bad decision because I have a IBS flare-up right now. And so the cone, I think, made it bad because the waffle, it was like fried and then, or something like whatever.
I just had 1 scoop in a bowl, so.
It was still really good. It's very messy.
It was very good. Oh, God. It was a very hot day. It was like 86, so you had to hurry up and eat it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. I just said, though, after every movie, we give a food review. So you want to start, Marco? What'd you give the movie?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, well, I'll just say what I did. And Marco, I think, has used this before. And it's not my experience with it, but it was his. But I was reminded of it because when we went to Ritter's, they had this similar type of dessert. It was s'mores. So it was their vanilla custard.
Ice cream?
Custard ice cream.
No, custard is different.
Yeah, but the McFlurry, it's vanilla ice cream, okay? And what they do with their McFlurries is they have a McFlurry machine. And so somehow when they put stuff in it, they have all the bottom is in the bottom of the whatever it is, the pot, and then they dump all this stuff on the top. And the machine just stirs it into the top. And it goes down a little bit down a ways, and that's it. And there was so much stuff in this s'mores McFlurry that you're like, where's the ice cream? And it was just all flooded, and the stuff wasn't it was hard, and it wasn't, a s'more is a s'more, ice cream is ice cream. And, we were wondering, like at this Ritter's place, this is s'mores, whatever the thing is called. It was the same kind of thing, only it was with custard. And I thought, where's the ice cream? Because they had a picture of it. It's new. And I don't know how long. Maybe it's new for the month, the week.
Safi's never had it, though.
No, I haven't had either thing. And so
no, you had a bite of the McFlurry.
And it was all stuff. I didn't taste hardly any ice cream at all.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's with this movie, it's kind of like that because, like I said, it's like a baseball game. You have this clump of scenes and then lounging around sucking blood. And then you have another clump of scenes, a lot of action. And then sitting around sucking blood. And then, like going from base to base to base. And it's like this McFlurry where it just has this big clump of scenes. And there's the stuff and the ice cream is just a little bit down below and mixed in there a little bit, which was so basic, and the dialogue was so basic, and you just keep pulling up a bite of this stuff, and it's like the scenes, like there's a ton of action, and then there's a little bit of ice cream, so it's just like it. So if you thought about it now. So I haven't had either one, and I don't know if I will have the the s'mores McFlurry is gone, which indicates to me that it wasn't a very big success.
I don't know. They take stuff off. Like I've mentioned this before, but a couple of years ago they had something really good that I kind of wish they'd bring back, which is it was like a caramel brownie sundae. And I didn't like it at the time, but I've kind of miss it, and I think that it was actually pretty good. I mean, it's a small little sundae, and there were a couple of things I didn't like, but it was actually pretty good.
It could have been that it was a summer. It was just for the summer.
I can't remember.
Part of the summer where you would have a barbecue, And you would have s'mores.
I think it was 2021. I can't remember, but like, it was really good. It's worthy enough to remember. But in terms of food, I would say that this movie kind of reminds me of, back in elementary school, we had breadsticks on Fridays, cheese-filled breadsticks, and with tomato sauce or marinara sauce, and it was everyone's favorite meal pretty much. Out of all the cafeteria food choices. But years and years later, obviously I haven't had them, but I was able to find the exact same breadsticks at either Walmart or Meijer. And so I could get them I can get them now anytime I want, but I got them and I tried them and they just weren't as good now. And that's kind of like what this movie was. Like, those breadsticks, like, they're okay, but it's like a weird thing of, like, they're just not like the great breadsticks that they used to be. And that's kind of like this movie, even though I will say that the best part was Radu, the actor. He did a great job again. And, yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm glad they did it so he wouldn't die, and then they wouldn't have the original actor.
Yeah.
Just like the stupid David Lynch did in Twin Peaks.
God, Safi, he just died.
I don't care. I think he made a mistake.
Wow.
Well, he, rest in peace. But like I said, I think he made a big mistake.
Yeah, he made a huge mistake.
And
guess what, Safi? The secret project that he was working on,
yeah,
it had nothing to do with Twin Peaks. It was some mystery series about 1920s Hollywood or something.
Of course.
And it probably would be good. Like, he said he wanted like 13 plus episodes, which it's good at least he wants to have like real TV seasons where it's not like 8 measly episodes. But it was not even Twin Peaks. I don't know why. I don't know.
Who knows?
That was a weird...
Poor guy.
God, Safi.
Well, they were wondering, did
Took
he die
such a
in the
weird
fire?
turn.
He did not die in the fire, but I think that's a stress, because they took him to the hospital, and I think the stress of that fire, which, my God, that would be horrible. It was that Palisades fire in California, would have, he was not doing well, and the stress of that kind of thing on somebody that ill would probably do you in. So it's a shame. Terrible.
God, Safi.
No, I just remember.
Such a weird way to end a subspecies
It
review.
is, but I mean, it's about vampires, and anyway. Whatever.
David Lynch wasn't a vampire.
No, he wasn't a vampire. He was a really good movie director, but he made a mistake. And people like that Twin Peaks. And everybody has been passing away. They've been dropping off like flies due to being ill with some sickness, or they die of old age. So, I mean, just like he did, he had an illness and he died. He's smoking all the time. He had died, didn't he? Yeah, you said he died of, what is it called? Emphysema. So, anyway, that's it. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. We'll be doing, and share it, like it, make a comment. And we have 3 levels of Patreon based on Marco's movie making, and one of his projects is coming up at the end of this month. And we will be doing, like I said, we're doing 10 full moon movies, picked randomly. Marco picked 5, I picked 5. And now I guess it's my turn again. And what is the next? So next one is number 4. So what is number 4, Marco?
I'll look it up right now.
And we'll be watching and reviewing number 4, I guess, tomorrow.
No, we're not. Tomorrow's my day off.
Oh yeah, right. Well, probably Wednesday, because Thursday Hell's Kitchen is on.
It'll be when it is. The next movie is called. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know what it was originally called. On Letterboxd, that says Bikini Jones and the Temple of Arrows.
Oh, God.
Safi, this was your pick. Oh God, Safi, did you pick another adult video?
Bikini Jones and what?
Safi picked another. This is another thing. You know, it's probably not called that on Tubi.
I'll just say Bikini Jones.
But Safi, remember, guys, I think it was last year. Safi picked. They took an adult movie and they cut out all the sex scenes and they released it as a movie called The Witches of Suburbia or something.
We thought it was weird because it had a weird feel to it. And so when we found out that it used to be an adult movie, well, it made sense.
That's what this is. Safi, why did you do that?
I have no idea. I don't know why I picked it.
Why would you do that?
No idea.
What compelled you to do that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Why?
There must be something about the picture or something I read about it. I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I have no idea. That was a year ago, so.
What happened?
So anyway, that's it. So, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.